Let's dive into the Knicks a little bit more, but because we've discussed how they've struggled against good teams, and now that will be very pressing with their schedule. So far, the Knicks have played the second easiest schedule this season. That's based on opponent win percentage. That means they have the toughest remaining slate in the entire league. Monica, no one follows this team closer than you do here. New York has lost 5 of the last 7 games. When I say that they have the toughest remaining schedule, internally, is there any concern? What are you hearing from the Knicks?
Well, this is not a group that's going to make any excuses, Malika. So you have to play the schedule as it is in front of you. If you look as of late, you've got to take note of some of the tweaks in terms of the lineup and the rotations. They're starting to get a little bit more productivity from guys like Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne. Deuce McBride is coming off of an injury. He's back in that rotation. And as I said earlier this week, there's still optimism around Mitchell Robinson. And so as this team continues to get healthy, and if they can continue to take care of business, I think you'll have an opportunity to help this starting unit get a little bit of rest. But I will also add, in terms of the big-time minutes that this starting group has played, you look at a guy like Jalen Brunson, who's having a career year in a number of statistics. And so these guys want to be on the floor, and I think the thing that is most important when you discuss this team is that there's a great relationship between these players and head coach Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, and feeding off of that, Monica, one thing we have noticed is that, and we can all agree, that the Knicks are moving in the right direction with what we've seen offensively and also what we've seen incrementally adding more players. But is it fast enough? Because I want to pull up this graphic. It's really wild when you look at the top 5 players in the NBA per minutes played. Look at this. 4 out of the 5 are New York Knicks players.
Whoa.
Now, I'm not so concerned because, as we mentioned, we could see the change happening incrementally. And also, Jalen Brunson, who was 8th in usage amongst qualified players, is now 22nd. So he's sharing the rock more. Cat has done a great job of influencing, inside-outside play. But I do think that this could be a concern because even though they are making some strides with spreading the wealth, is it going to be enough for them to be balanced when it matters most? Because if you're going to criticize any way that they fell out, even though they played with a lot of heart last year in the postseason, the issue is that they didn't have enough. And now they have enough, but are they going to have enough from their bench? They are last in bench points per game. They're first in starter points. 97 points you get from your starters, 20 points per game you get from your bench. So I'm glad that the change is coming, but is it going to be incremental enough?
It feels like we have this conversation every year about Tom Thibodeau teams, right? UD, this isn't necessarily something new, but when you look at this, it does feel concerning. What do you think?
I mean, concerning, but this is Tibbs' MO. I mean, everybody knows that Tibbs like Swiss Army guys that can play both ends of the basketball court. And I remember when Jimmy was in Chicago, he played about 44 minutes a game, which is only 48 minutes. So Tibbs likes to burn the rub on his guys, but obviously understanding that health is an issue. You want to be healthy in the playoffs. You want to get Mitchell Robinson back. I think he needs to take his foot off the pedal a little bit, but this has been Tibbs' MO. And guys that play for Tibbs understand that he's going to want you to play on both ends of the basketball court and lay it out there.
And you can see it's good. The road does not get easier for the New York Knicks here. We're still tracking the status of Karl Anthony Towns for tonight's game.
NBA